A hidden chamber beneath Oak Island has been discovered, potentially the final piece in a centuries-old hunt for treasure. Over 200 years, explorers have searched for the treasure said to lie buried in its depths, causing ruined lives, fortunes, and obsessed minds across the globe. The chamber is real and only the beginning of something much bigger than anyone imagined. This discovery stands out not just for its existence, but also its intention for years. Teams of hopefuls have hammered into the island armed with drills, maps, and dreams. However, this time it wasn't luck, but cold, precise science ground-penetrating radar revealed a man-made tunnel hidden deep below the surface untouched by modern hands. Initial scans revealed sharp lines and angles symmetry, which doesn't happen by accident. The layout screamed intention, and for the first time in decades, the island is pointing a way forward. The tunnel has been on Rick and Marty Liga's mind for years, connecting every strange artifact they've ever found into one larger design. The builders of this tunnel were not hiding junk, but protecting something that had broken. This deliberate, skillfully, and chilling discovery has left everyone on edge. Oak Island's lore goes back to 1795, when a group of teenagers discovered a sunken depression in the ground and started digging. What they found was layers of timber platforms, strange tools, and coconut fiber. Ever since, people have been wondering if the chamber was hiding something or warning them away. Over the centuries, dozens of this structure was meant to collapse not by erosion or time, but by design. Oak Island has fought back since the late 1700s, with every major dig hitting an obstacle, collapsed shafts, sudden floods, and disappearing artifacts. Now science is catching up to superstition, and what they're finding suggests the legends were right all along. As they race to stay ahead of the unpredictable weather in Nova Scotia, the team uses non-invasive tech to enter the tunnel wall. A fiber optic camera guides by remote, entering through an existing borehole and sliding into the outer tunnel wall. The camera sees brief, shaky, but undeniable wood panels cut by hand, angled, interlocked with spacing far too perfect to be natural. This isn't driftwood or collapsed debris, but a wall, or even a vault door. Skeptics have long believed that Oak Island was a trap, but now the data tells another story: the hardware structure and the history of the island's collapse. Oak Island is a location that has been a magnet for treasure hunters for more than 2 centuries, and the team has been assigned with the mission of discovering a hidden chamber beneath Oak Island. Paint, carvings, burn marks, and symbols are some examples of the faint markings that the team will attempt to capture on the wood as part of their approach. These markings will then be studied by specialists. The group is of the opinion that the chamber might hold artifacts of religious significance, documents, seals, and relics that are associated with long-lost civilizations. There is a possibility that the crew will continue excavation without fully comprehending the magnitude of the trap mechanisms, despite the fact that it is anticipated that the tunnel dates back to the 1700s or even earlier. In the event that it is activated, the trapdoor has the potential to flood the room, bury the evidence permanently, and put the crew in risk. After several weeks of modeling, cross-referencing sonar images, recalibrating pressure readings, and cross-checking every inch of new terrain, the crew makes the decision to dig, but they do not go directly toward the chamber. The alternative is that they excavate a parallel access shaft that goes around the perimeter of the structure that is suspected of being there. The only way to avoid setting off a potential trap is to do so in this manner. As they approach the exterior of the chamber, they are confronted with a low vibration that is first gentle, but becomes more intense as they come into contact with the wall. The walls are lined with olavs that have been carved, measured, and filled with artifacts. These artifacts are significantly different from gold or coins, and they are scroll tubes that have been sealed with wax wood chests that are bound in iron cloth-covered bundles. A square that is encased in glass may be found embedded in the middle of the stone pedestal. After moving through the opening, the team notices that cables stretch through the opening, and what they observe is beyond their ability to believe. This room has not been modified, and it has a dome ceiling that is approximately 20 feet by 30 feet and is supported by timber beams. The walls are lined with alavs that have been carved, measured, and filled with treasures. These artifacts are not made of gold or money, but rather items that are quite unusual. As a result of the discovery, there is the potential for damage to moving objects, disintegration, or even destabilization. The consequences of this breakthrough are staggering. The team does something that very few people anticipated. They discover the concealed chamber that is located beneath Oak Island. However, it is not apparent whether the chamber contains a treasure vault, a historical time capsule, or something more hazardous. The group must make a decision about what is located beyond the subsequent tunnel in order to proceed with their mission to discover the concealed chamber at the base of Oak Island.
Episode, the action in the Money Pit area came to a similar sudden halt when someone found what could be a bone fragment. The more the Lagena brothers and their team excavate, the closer they reach the legendary treasure. It's been almost a decade since they worked on unearthing the truth, but unfortunately they never reached such a great height until now. This season left them, and their fans shocked when they brought such discoveries to the audience's platter. However, things will take to the next level in The Curse of Oak Island Season 10, Episode 25, when the new discoveries connect all the pieces together. So, are they close to locating the treasure? Well, fans are curious to learn this, and the hits keep coming. The next episode will solve another enigma. On Lot 5, Laird Niven resumes his excavation work. The crew will search for the secret buried beneath the triangle-shaped marsh as they move on. The team will continue digging, but they will soon get startling information that links Lot 5 to the triangle-shaped marsh. When the crew keeps digging in Money Pit, they'll also discover a remarkable discovery. They are now more prepared than ever to solve the puzzle. Marty, Craig, and Charles have been getting ready to down the 82-foot shaft for the past week. The crew didn't think there could be a tunnel underneath the shaft's terminus, since one of the sides kept sinking. They chose to independently verify it despite this theory. Charles made the decision to go first and offer his services to everybody, but he had to go through specialized training first in order to achieve this. He descended and observed the garden shaft's dropping corner. After what he had seen, the group decided to dig at the bottom to see if there were any potential tunnels nearby. Marty, though, placed a hold on it. He intended to perform a self-check but needed more time to complete his dedicated training. Meanwhile, Alex, Rick, and Peter traveled to Italy to consult Umberto Musa, a specialist in coins and artifacts from antiquity. He examined the coins and found Oak Island had some ties to the Roman Empire as well. This happened as a result of one of the coins being a Roman coin. Byzantine gold coins were weighed against another coin to determine whether or not they were genuine. Laird Niven's continuing drilling on Lot 5 resulted in their most recent finding. In the meantime, Rick kept searching for answers in the area known as Nolan's Cross, but for the time being, the group keeps looking into the enigmatic circular depression in the marsh. They discover ceramic shards and charcoal fragments that they surmise may be remnants of a cooking pot or a campfire. The lead artifact that was discovered in the swamp is examined by experts in the war room. They think it is a lead cross and that it was probably made in France. This could be proof that the French had anything to do with the Oak Island enigma. The group looked for tunnels beneath the garden shaft using a probing drill. They discovered a little quantity of wood that could be proof of a tunnel. This time, Gary Drayton uses a metal detector to check the recent spoils while the heavy equipment operator continues his work. Two substantial iron spikes that Gary immediately finds are both dated to the 1700s. If the artifacts are actually from the 18th century, the narrator speculates that Smith's Cove flood tunnel builders rather than the Truro Company, who built Shaft 5 in 1850, are more likely to have left them behind. Later that day, Marty Lagena and Craig Tester participate via Skype at the War Room meeting of the Fellowship of the Dig. The crew is informed by Marty and Craig that they just met Jeremy Church, a geophysicist working for Eagle Canada's seismic exploration business, who appears in Season 6, Episodes 1 and 3. The data from the extensive seismic survey of the eastern half of Oak Island that Church and the rest of the Eagle Canada team completed back in Season 7, Episode 6 has finally been analyzed. The information points to the existence of an anomaly at a depth of around 60 feet close to the southeast corner of the cave-in pit. The anomaly significantly resembles the Smith's Cove flood tunnel since it is linear and looks to be moving toward the Money Pit. Remember how GPR specialists Steve Watson and Don Johnston found several subterranean anomalies close to the cave-in pit in Season 7, Episode 2? One of them was located at a depth of 82 feet, and the other was located at a depth of 91 feet. Following exploratory drilling, it was discovered that 4 feet of sand were present between 99 and 109 feet below the surface. Remember to subscribe to the channel for more blues from the world of mysteries. Today, Oak Island is still a fascinating location where tourists